Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. And we who believe in freedom cannot rest till freedom come. And I'll have somebody on in a few minutes who's going to tell you it's not going to rest. This is Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Spring is just around the corner. I mean, how many people got daffodils in their yard? I bet Mr. Rye has some daffodils. He might not have planted them, though. But I'm going to bring Mr. Rye on. He's going to give us an update. And then after that, we'll have Ms. Victoria Beach on to talk about a community meeting and Women's History Month. All right, Mr. Rye, come on on. Just talk about this. Talk about it. I'm ready.
Yeah, well, as we went on before we went on the air, I'm concerned about the situation in Haiti. And, the United States, we send aid all around the world except for minuscule to Palestine and none to Haiti. And we saw how the Haitians were treated at the Texas border,
Oh, yeah.
getting run down by the horses and stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the people even sank some of the boats that they're on.
Yeah.
So I'm very concerned about it. It's in the Western Hemisphere. We know the history.
Yeah.
Toussaint Louverture defeated Napoleon's army in Haiti. And because then Haiti had to pay the United States and France reparations because the French says, because you eliminated slavery, we're not having access to cotton for our textile mills. And so and that's why Haiti don't have a solid infrastructure right now because of the fact all their money was going out. But it's just really too bad that we can go all around the world with aid for other folks in need and can miss something that's 100 or 200 miles off the shores of the United States. And
before the
allow that
earthquake
to happen. And I also remembered about the Haitians trying to cross the border and being ran over by white men and horses like they did black folks a long time ago in this country.
Well,
So
before the earthquake happened, Valentine, he on his show, he was organizing businesses to go to Haiti, and people were signing up. And then the earthquake came. I mean, it could have been, natural and a man-made, but he was really a lot of people was just lining up, businesses wanting to go to Haiti because we in America, I mean, we're so underemployed and all this other stuff, and we to take out some of our skills and go build up Haiti, and that's what his idea was. And then what happened? The earthquake happened, and then all the other stuff happened. So every time there's a movement to be able to help the Haitian people from Black people, something happens to that movement. I mean, and so it didn't happen, but people would say he was bringing all the good news about the about the Haitians and the opportunities there for business and to put some plants over there instead of letting them all go to China. You could put some plants and stuff and bring some economic development there, and that was the idea because they need economic development, and the West has blocked them from having economic development. That's the issue with Haiti, and
Reverend Harry, it's been a good job done on the African American community in the United States.
Well, yeah,
we had a strong, vibrant economy with all our businesses participating like they should be participating with various public and federal agencies. We would be able to help Haiti, but because we are being shortchanged right here, when Black businesses do 0.18% in 2021 in Washington State, and the governor signed executive order January 2022, at the end of the year, we do 0.22%. When the agency that does all the buying and approving of contracts for the state in 2023, the first 4 months didn't do 1% with all minorities. And I'm saying, no, we have some serious problems right here. And as long as we're hamstrung here, it's almost hard for us to help anybody else.
That's right.
But because we are United States citizens, have died in every war,
yes,
have lived up 244 years of Black folks' lives in slavery, making the United States an economic power with all that free labor, and then going to battle on behalf of this country and even in segregated units. And then we come back here and we still have the same thing. In Florida, they just announced that the University of Florida and the Florida Institutions of Higher Learning, their programs for diversity, equity, and inclusion are being diverted, and the 15 people at the Florida State University of Florida are being dismissed. So I'm saying, what kind of payment is that for all the blood, sweat, and tears we've given to this country?
It's the same kind of payment that they gave our ancestors. I mean, because these are the same people. I mean, and there's something about us that they continue not to want us to make any progress. And it's by the sheer will of our determination and the Most High God that opens the door for us. I mean, and this is the Europeans' way of doing business in the world. They're doing it in Brazil. They're doing it everywhere. Everywhere they go, they absolutely bring this idea of everything is for them and nothing is for the indigenous people or the stolen ones. And we keep pushing on it and we do good and then they come back and wipe it all out again. I mean, I believe gentrification is part of them wiping it out all over again. There's so many ways that they come and wipe it out all over again. And
We
what do
saw
we
that
do?
50 years ago when we dropped the first report on redlining. We saw exactly what the plan was. But then when people are doing little to no 23 years of no affirmative action in Washington State and the University of Washington, they have a whole bunch of brothers and sisters on the football and the basketball teams. But when it come down to the students, more African American students, University of Washington in 1974 there is in 2024.
Well, if they get
Talk
all
about
this
going
money,
backwards.
but the University of Washington get all this research money, and there's no black people working on those research projects. I mean, that's supposed to have affirmative action. All the federal dollars still have affirmative action when they come into the state, and those jobs does not have any black people on it. I just picked up here. We charged genocide in the 1950s when our people went to the UN and say we charge genocide. And here it is: three white thugs raped a young Negro woman and her escorts, and they beat him up. They beat him to death. And this happened in June in the 1950s in New York State. So the litany goes on. You're right. You're right to stand up, and that's what we're doing. And God bless us. God bless the
And I'm going
people.
to ask the 58 members of the Congressional Black Caucus to also stand up for us in Washington State who are being discriminated against when it comes down to opportunities, but also with the Black country are not a couple of hundred miles off the shore from the United States of America called Haiti. And also when they come across the border, we don't want to see no white guys in cowboy hats running over them with horses. Okay.
Well, I mean, and unfortunately for us right now, we're at a place where the former leader of the so-called free world is trying to be a Russian, and it took the lid off of the bottle that the genie was in, and he let this hatred out. I mean, it was kind of like it hadn't gone away. They had already put me and Mr. Branch out of business, but and all the other stuff, but there was a little lid on it, and now that lid is off. And this hatred is flying it's flying like a fleet, see the birds flying together. I mean, it's just flying. I mean, and it's going to take all we can to stand up to this, all we can. And you're doing a great job here. You're doing a great job standing up, and we're all standing up. I mean, especially people who came out of segregation. Or I remember another time. Now, young people, they don't have that memory. And how do you organize them? And I tell people, I'm gonna vote a Democratic ticket if they run Lassie, because you know what? They're not going to run us up, round us up. Now they might not do a lot for us, but they're not going to be knocking on our doors and coming to get us. So
I think you might be right, Reverend Harriet, because I'll tell you one thing. The Donald Trump has already proclaimed that he'll be a dictator on day one.
that's
And the
right.
judge told him if
That's
he
right.
got the SEAL Team 6 to assassinate an opponent, that would be all right. So, but
That's right.
the thing about it is that we've heard his conversation with the Georgia officials. We've seen the fake electors. We've seen the people before Bonnie Willis got plea deals one after another after another. We've heard the September 6th Commission, headed by Congressman Benny Thompson. We've heard Cassidy Hutchinson, who was right next to Mark Meadows, the chief of staff. So, all that information, all that documentation, all that evidence is not enough to remove the orange man from being the favorite of folks. And he's a favorite because there are a lot of people in this country want to turn the clock back to.
But it's a lot of business people. I don't think we understand the people who have a lot of money. Absolutely, they want him because they don't want to pay no more taxes, and so
But
he
they
has
got a lot of all those guys in those rallies are not rich.
no. But
They
there's a
have a
lot of his.
different they have a different modus operandi anyway. Their thing is racial hatred and bigotry. Now, they
Exactly.
also always find a Negro like the one they got running for governor of North Carolina. I think it's North Carolina. And Trump's going to compare him to Martin Luther King Jr. And this man's against all righteousness that ever been put.
Well, but again, if black people don't ever stand up and take on these people, I mean, it's you and I, but where are the voices that pushing this back? Marcus Garvey said you got to hit propaganda back with propaganda. If you don't push it back, it goes down in history as a truth when it's a lie, and that's what you're doing. But who has a national platform to do this? I mean, where are the voices on the national level pushing them back? Just black. I mean, we don't, we're the moral authority on the who's doing this on a national level. I don't know. You might know somebody who's a moral
Well,
authority that did it. Yeah.
all I'm going to do is I'm going to be making requests and sending emails, and hopefully they resonate with someone. I did get a call back while I was doing my program on Thursday, Urban Forum Northwest, which is on this station, 1150 AM KKNW, Thursdays 2 to 3. And in the middle of the program, Congressman Gregory Meeks called back. He's a
Okay.
ranking member of the House Foreign Relations Committee. And the Haiti situation is what I'm going to bring to him because he's in a position to do something.
Right.
And I'm also going to call Congressman Benny Thompson, who's the ranking member of the Homeland Security Committee, and Congressman Hank Johnson, who's the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee. So I figured that I'm going to make my effort, no matter how long the odds might be. If you don't say nothing,
Oh,
you don't
that's
get
right. I'll
nothing.
agree. I'll
If you
agree.
don't stand up, and if you don't show up, you're out of sight. So if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And they just have to get tired of me because I'm gonna stay in sight and I'm gonna have my mouth open for hopefully for the right thing. And I think that having that black country down there being mistreated like
Oh,
this,
yeah, I agree.
completely abused, there's some things that could happen to get straighten Haiti out. There's
Well,
some things
but
that
you
could
got to get
happen.
rid of some of this other. I mean, you got the Haitian black people that's treating. I mean, that's doing this to each other. I mean, we have to look at that piece, and you have all these families who's been in power for a long time, and so Haiti is not. Haiti can be helped. I believe with economic. I mean, if people need jobs. I mean, if
It,
they
it,
people had jobs in Haiti that they could have a decent wage and some parts of Haiti probably never recovered from the earthquake. I mean, because look how long it recovered. And I mean, the former president, they were in charge of a lot of that money that went to Haiti, and they say that money never went to Haiti. So I mean, so a lot of stuff did not get to the Haitian people, and they still suffering. You're right about that. They're still suffering.
we
The
have a
whole
whole bunch of projects here where the money is supposed to go somewhere. We can't. The thing about it is that we have to have a concerted effort to raise the standard of living and to do some other things. The United States can put foreign aid everywhere else. They ignore Africa, the African countries, and they ignore Haiti, and it's because they're black. That's all it is
well,
to it.
well, and that's true. And once we realize that, then we're really well on the road. That is so true.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, really.
anytime black folks, and it's because of us and the civil rights leaders, is why we got the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 65. Only black people didn't have civil rights, only black people didn't have voting rights in this country. And during segregation, I spent the first 10 years of my life in Shreveport, Louisiana. And if you wasn't black, you rode in the front of the bus. If you wasn't black, you drank out the white water fountain. If you wasn't black, you sat on the main floor of the movie theater and you didn't have to get your stuff to go. So, and I didn't put your money in the front of the bus and walk around to the back, hope the bus driver don't leave you. So I've been up close and personal with that as up to 10 years old and going back when I was 18 in the military, the Washington State National Guard. It was a medical unit. The training was at Fort Ord and then at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas. And you go down there, getting a drink of water. Man tell me, hey, boy, that uniform don't make you white. So once again, I'm back in segregation. And then they wanted me to go to Officers Canada School, which was in Georgia. I said, ain't no way in the world I'm going to be volunteering to go back to segregation. Well, you're
Yeah.
equal on the base, so I'm going to be equal off the base too, because I'm not doing it.
Well, you know what? I want you to continue and then give us a report about what they say. I'm going to find this whoever's running, and where I'm going to find where Trump compared him to this individual to Dr. King, and I'm going to tweet out. I'm going to compare Trump to Hitler. I mean,
That's
when I find it, so I'm going to tweet that out. So
well,
I mean, so when I find it, I'm going to tweet
him
that out.
and Putin and Putin and Netanyahu is a trio.
Oh yeah,
I can say.
and they all nobody wants any so-called democracy. So so hey, I'll have a report next week on who I tweeted out to, because that's the one thing I can do. I can go to Twitter or whatever it's called today and put out something finally, like I did today. I said, wow, the Supreme Court. I mean, I said the Russians are here. Is what I said out there on that.
Yeah,
So
Putin has many comrades in this country.
well, yeah, in the beginning, but at the highest level.
Exactly.
At the highest level, Putin,
Yeah, he has
I mean,
comrades.
the Russians are here. The Russians are here. They're coming. So this is always good. Always, bringing good information, and I'll have some more information next week about that. We charge genocide because this is a recurring story. I mean, this is a recurring story about life in America. So, but anyway, hey, we're gonna keep at it because that's who we are. We're the people who never gave up.
That's right, Reverend. Okay, thank you very
We
much.
still the mighty Africans. So hey, all
Okay,
right then. We're talking to you next time. All right, have a
okay.
great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show. I'll be right back. Take care. Be right back.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
When you're diagnosed with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you just want to feel better. Steroids help get my symptoms under control, but they come with problems and long-term risks. I need to look out for my future health. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation changed everything. They encouraged me to take action and even helped me find a specialist. We now have a plan that works for today and tomorrow. Don't put off finding an answer. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
Get inspired every hour right here on Alternative Talk 1150.
Hey, thank you, Eric. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on there. Hey, yes, it's a Women's Month, so they say. So we're not going to get pushed down anymore. We've been there before. We're standing up right now. We're standing up. Women, we're standing up, and we're never going home. Okay, you got to cook your food yourself, because we ain't never coming home. I want to bring my next guest on. She feels the same way. Victoria Beach, and I'm sure she's going to say what she has to say. And then, we're going to listen. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a conversation about this power that Black women bring. And then, so come on. How you doing, Miss Beach?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah. And so I think you wanted to give your whatever.
Yep, I do. And today I'm on here as an African-American woman that lives in the Central District and has a right to talk. I'm not here representing SPD. I'm representing myself and the Black community.
Oh, yeah, and all the mothers that we stand up for. That's right. That's right. And we have a right to do that. And you on Mother's Justice Show as my guest. Hey, and I think our sponsors right now might be the Virtuous Healing Circle, but but we're here. We've been on there 10 years, and for all the people who I think that Black women I should not have anything to say. I just want to bring my guests up to my audience up to speed. There was a community meeting last week out at Bitter Lake, and it's about the technology that the mayor is proposing to be able to sound technology, to be able to identify where shots are coming from, and all the other things that go along with that. And we were like Daniel in the lion den. It was two African American women who have clearly been in Seattle. I've been here since 1975. I'm not born and bred, but Miss Beach is, and the audience side was against us, but we held our own, and now I'm being investigated by, he says, ethics committee, as if I was there. He says I misrepresented myself. Well, I spoke for Mothers for Police Accountability. We've been around for 34 years, and you spoke as an individual and as a citizen of Seattle longer than some of those people. Some people say, "Oh, I've been here 20 years," and
right.
Oh yeah. So You want to just send, kind of give our listeners a little bit about that, a flavor
Yes.
of what we encountered in our Blackness standing up.
Well, I want to say I've been here since 1959 and my grandparents in the 1920s. So to you that have been here 20 years, that don't look like me, don't live in my neighborhood, you're not going to shut me down. I have a
Right.
right to speak, and I'm going to speak at any cost. You will not silence me. So you're right. We were at Bitter Lake at the meeting, outnumbered big time by the hostile, ignorant crowd that thinks they speak for us. And we didn't stand down. We still got up and spoke truth.
Right.
The other thing is they you can tell that we hit a core with them, just the two of us, because they're outraged coming after us, making formal complaints. I don't care, as you said that night, go to the Pope. I don't care who you go to. I'm not going to back down from you. You're not going to shut us up when we're speaking truth. And they don't know what's best for our community. They constantly think they know what's best for us. You and I have worked with parents that have lost their kids to gun violence. We sit with them. We hear them when they're weeping, not crying, weeping. They want this technology. And I get it. There are some in our community that don't want it, but they also have a right to speak, not people that don't live in our neighborhood, that don't look like us and are losing kids. It's you and I have had some great laughter over this, where I wish they could see us, because they think we're shaking in our boots. Well, we're not. We're not. And it's and their complaints will go nowhere. And you know what? If their complaints did go somewhere, you think I care? I know how to be poor.
Well, you know what? Whatever you're doing, and where you worked at and continue to work at right now, it's like you were looking for something when you found that one. I mean, so you say,
That's right.
To think that, I mean, the tactics and what they want to do, it makes me think that they're the junior KKK.
They are. Well,
I mean, the way.
I have to correct you. That's not our slogan.
Okay.
Heatless Junior KKK. And really, they are. They are. They're not for us. They claim they are. And you know what? Our community better wake up.
We better wake up, because really a lot of the liberals I absolutely don't like us. I mean, and then they demonstrated it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Everybody don't have to like us, but we have a right to be in the world.
Right.
We have a right to breathe the fresh air. We have the right to. That's right. That's right. And then we have a right to speak for ourselves. And I think that a lot of sometimes when people get get funds and stuff like that, agencies they're not speaking out.
No.
I mean, and I don't have that kind of stuff to protect. I mean, my job is to try to help and protect young people, and to help our community wake up and realize that this violence here is a learned experience. It's not normal, and we need to stop normalizing violence and drug use in our community. And when I first started Mothers 34 years ago, I said we needed to have we should have had a boundary of saying no drugs here. I mean, our community tolerate bad behavior more than any other community.
Mm-hmm.
And so that tolerating of bad behavior has led us to be where we are today. Yep. We should have in the 90s. I mean, really and truly, because people were out there. We had people making money on our people being harmed. I mean, we have to own our own responsibility. People put crack in our community, but we didn't have to sell it.
No.
Okay. I mean, really and truly. And then what crack came violence. Okay. And so a lot of the homes was abated and taken in the 90s and stuff. And so we have not recovered from the social engineering to be violent. I mean, it's amazing before integration, I mean, you could see what black people, what movies black people played in. It wasn't exploitation and trying to harm the community. But one thing about television and one thing about Hollywood, it is a great brainwasher, and that's what it does. And it has brainwashed people to believe that this is normal, that thug life is normal. Well, I
Right.
mean, we didn't have no thugs going around in 1963. I
No.
mean, really and truly, I mean, we did not. And so we have to look like, so this is a massive job to be able to get young people to understand that this way is not the way of the world. And that, and then, especially in King County, I can't speak for the Okanagan and Spokane, but it's opportunity here.
Right.
Our young people could have a job. I mean, and they don't have to watch the back with that job, but you can have a job. You can go to the community college. It's so much opportunity in King County. Now, outside of King County, we don't know what's in Tacoma and we don't know in the other counties, but in this county and in some places, if you can get a free bus pass.
Yes.
You can get a free bus pass, and granted, one of the things that we have to always acknowledge, most of our young people are doing well.
Yeah.
And that really is the truth. I mean, and sometimes they get drowned it out and
Yes.
all of this other stuff, but they are making all kinds of strides. You got young people in college. You have you have people you have young people who came out of college and got good jobs, and then you still have them writing poetry, you have them singing, you even have them designing. My grandson in Chicago is designing T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. I mean, and he finished at Loyola University. I mean, and look at the creativity. I mean, because you have a lot of creativity with our young people now. I mean, and so when we were talking, we are absolutely not talking about a race of teenagers. I mean, a whole generation of teenagers or young people, because that would not be true. But the ones who are harming us and harming other people makes it unsafe for us and other people. And then the stereotypes keep going about us and not being and what we are. So that's the reason why we're talking about it. We're not talking about it like it's 2 or 3 million black kids or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not. And they say the kids who are doing this are always the ones who are they're repeaters. See, they'll repeat, and so it's something wrong that behavior has not been corrected. And the other thing that you've done in the past is that you worked in the schools with the young girls, and you worked with young girls in the school and tried to help them with their self-esteem. And we have to just admit that we have a lot of parents right now who are not parenting. Maybe they're
Right.
not able to parent. Maybe they're just suffering from mental issues, or a lot of them, might be smoking substance and all that kinds of stuff. But if you don't send these kids ready for first grade, then they can always be behind. And you saw that, I mean, because you worked at a few of the schools.
Yeah, I did see that. It was, you know, when I left, those girls were crushed. They looked forward to our circle. They looked forward to that, and they're not some of them aren't getting it from home.
No, they're
No,
not. They're not.
and
They're not. They're not getting it from home because
and that's another thing parents can do. Volunteer, create a circle for the kids. It was so hard to get parents to volunteer to be involved.
Well, you know what? And I understand why, because I wrote a program, and most of the homes I went in, you have unrecovered parents who had a bad time at Meany, and the parents have not been recovered. And what I realized is that the parents have to be recovered from the bad experience at Meany and some of the other places when they went to school, and so therefore they still traumatized for all the stuff they went through, and so you got to recover the parent and the child together. And that's what I figured out with my program. I never been able to get that, nothing about it, but I recognize it. I went into so many homes and the parents was like still talking bad about, what happened to them when they were in middle school, or what happened to them when they got bussed out to Roosevelt or out to Ingram or wherever, when they got bussed out to Central area. They still talking about those bad experiences being called out of their names when they get off the school bus and all those places. And so therefore, they don't have the energy, or they have not been recovered enough from their own bad experience, because integration has been hard on our people.
Hmm.
I mean, because they go out to these buildings and they got called names, or if anybody steals something in the classroom, they always look at the black person when the other person over there is the one who stole it.
Yeah. You know that's true, but not all of us. I mean, I was
Right.
bused, and I still even my daughters were. I bust them out, and they had a hard time. Not only with the white kids, almost every race they got it from, but still, both of them have given back 4 times over. You know, we at some point we need to just get in there. You know, with my kids, nothing's going to stop me. Even the kids that aren't my kids. When I saw those girls needed support, I was blown away. You know, I thought they were thinking, "Oh, this is the time for us to get out of class. We don't have to do math day or whatever." No, they were telling us what they wanted, what they needed. I mentioned we even took uh, our police chief Carmen Best there. They loved talking with her, but you know, we really do have to wake up, because other people are controlling our environment.
Exactly. And let's hold that point. Let's take a break. Maybe we'll get some more of Helen ready here, because I am a woman. So yeah, and we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. You listen to the Mother's Justice Show, 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host. It's my joy to be on there.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Let angels and Reiki and the search for mystical knowledge become a regular part of your routine Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. Loretta Brown, owner of Reiki Oasis, Reiki Master Teacher, an angel messenger, and healing musician, all wrapped into one, as she uses her voice to share knowledge of great mysteries, energetic laws, and messages of love from the divine. Join her and her show every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. to open your heart and heal your soul. Visit ReikiOasis.com for more information about her show.
Going our own way every day. Alternative Talk 1150.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I am a woman. You're listening to Reverend Walden on the Mother's Justice Show. I paid the price. Oh yeah, I want to bring my good side now, Miss Victoria Beach, and we're talking about how we just took a whatever at the meeting last Tuesday. But you know what? We used to say that you take a licking, but you keep on ticking. When my
That's
kids used to
right.
say, we original Timex. You remember that?
We're the Energizer Bunny that keeps on.
That's what we are. We just like, oh yeah, man, let's rock this. So we rocked it. And it's going to be another meeting on Tuesday over at the Senior Center, and our community is still our community. That's Senior Center. We fought to keep it there.
That's
They
right.
did everything they could to take it, but it was a MOU on that. I mean, one thing about some of these older people who came, it was the MOU. It says that if that building is still being used by Black people in 40 years or however, it had to be diverted back to Black people. And also, that's what happened with the Liberty Bank building. I mean, they found that MOU somewhere. And these people were smarter. I mean, really and truly, they knew what racism was.
Yes.
And so they wrote their paperwork
to
understand that piece. I mean, because even in my town, Sanford, Florida, Professor Crooms put a school on his own property during segregation.
Wow.
And then I think when they wanted to do something else, I think his heirs said, you have to pay us fair value for every day that the school was on my ancestors' property. And they didn't do that. The school still stands today. Now it's Crooms, middle school and, whatever, but the name is still there.
Wow.
Because they knew that this day would come in.
Yep.
They knew that it wasn't healed, see. And they protected themselves in the court and the paperwork, see. and made it so, and so we can learn, and one thing about this, we're gonna, I'm a weaver, so we'll weave a little bit today, but as we finish this, we'll weave on and talk about the women who has come before us, who gives us the courage. It's something about, it's something about the courage that the women has given us. And I mean, you and myself and other people, other women, we didn't just hop up like this. We saw examples.
Right.
We saw examples, or we read about examples of people who, in harsh conditions, determined that they were more than a slave. They were more than people who were born in bondage. And they worked for the children, because before it was any welfare and any of this other stuff coming, you had the Black benevolent societies, and these was done by women. And they were out bettering the lives of children.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. And
Yep.
I know it's bettering the lives of children, because Malidoma, he's in spirit now, but he said, he wrote up Water and Spirit. Malidoma says, when the elders are missing, the youth are violent, because these two need to be together. And so the elders, I mean, look how, since integration, Miss Nosybody, her whole job was to sit on the porch to see when the kids came home. If they didn't come home right away, Miss Nosybody was going to call up somebody and say, well,
Yeah.
you know what? Your kids didn't come home right away, and they took somebody up in the house, and, Miss Nosybody, that's what Miss Nosybody did. But when integration came in, Miss Nosybody didn't have nothing to do. And just sitting on that porch being nosy kept her alive.
Yep.
It kept her alive because she had something to do.
Yep.
And then when integration came in and the children didn't pass by her house no more, she didn't have anything to do. And then dementia set in, and then, she lost her home or went to a nursing home. And so these elders are not here.
Right.
Because when you understand that, they play a vital and important part, grandparents, aunties, and uncles, because you get tired of hearing those old-timey stories, but you remember them.
Yeah.
And in time of trouble, what do you remember? You remember their heroic stories that they told you, even if they were making it up.
Mm-hmm.
And those stories, and one of the jokes that I tell, I said it's going to be a lot of people my age and your age, if they're still around, and they got grandchildren, they're going to say, I was there when Obama got sworn in as the first black president. And you know what? I marched down Pennsylvania Avenue. And then they go, and the grandchild going to say, oh, granddad, was that true? Oh, yeah, I was there. And guess what? I was there the second time. And it never left the couch. But
yeah.
And that's how the myth is going. And then they're going to say, well, my grandfather was there. My grandfather said he was there twice, and, oh yeah, and this is how these stories go on. But and we all have stories that our ancestors, who in spirit now, has told us to empower us, to keep us going. See, and that's all we're doing. We're working in the tradition of the Black woman. It's always worked. She tried to keep Martha from selling her children, She said, oh, don't sell them,
Mm-hmm.
And when Harriet made that when she made that run, she knew that her people was going to get her sister. They're going to be separated, and so she ran so she could get her people, and to deliver them to safety.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that. And so we're doing. I said, I'm Harriet Tubman, and you Sojourner Truth.
Yeah.
We're standing up, we're standing up, but we're standing up for because we understand and we authentically love Black people through all the challenges they've gone through, because we're doing well compared to what we come out of.
Right.
What we come out of. We have to always remember what we come out of and give grace. Because really, the brutality, that's why they don't want the history told.
Mm-hmm.
The brutality, what has happened to us in this country. Most human beings would not even believe that people who call themselves human beings have harmed us so much and harmed our ancestors so much. See?
Yeah.
And that's why they don't want the story told.
Yeah.
Because when the story is told, you're going to say, wow, these people are not failures. They're absolutely heroic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, because then, because then people won't be, comparing us to immigrants because they didn't fight for their own liberation.
They
and
did.
They didn't spend 240 years being seasoned to be this way. See,
Right.
I mean, they came now, they come at their own free will, and they come to a country that's already built. I mean, and the Chinese came in the late 1800s, and then we built the railroads, finished the railroads, and they were discriminated against. And then we know the Japanese was round up by World War II and put in those camps and stuff like that. Horrible, but nobody had 240 years of this.
Nope.
But us, and then we know we're in solidarity with our native brothers and sisters because they've been through it too. Yeah, it's whole nations of native people who no longer here because they got wiped out, with smallpox and all the other stuff. So it's a miracle. It's a miracle that we're here. It really is. It's a miracle that we're here, and that's the beauty of this because really. And we just keep on going. And yeah, we have these problems here, but we're working on them. And we have a right to have a safe community. Why can't we have a safe community? Why can't our children go to school where teachers want to teach them? And they come to school ready. I mean, why not us? And Russell Wilson's dad say, why not you, Russell?
Yeah.
I see it, and to look like Russell is being released by the Broncos today, and he said he's excited for the next leg of his journey. So yeah, I guess he'll remember his dad would say, "Why not you, Russell?" Right. So now, why not us? Why not us have a safe community?
Right.
And our kids not have to have gunshots, and why not us not have people that are breaking the law and selling stuff in our community that harms us, and that type of stuff. Why not us? Why not us? We deserve that.
We do.
And that's what we're working for, and why not us have the proper things for the mothers when they're grieving, the support that they need. They really do need support because unless you walk that walk with your sister or your mother or your friends, and a lot of people have never ever been to a Black funeral or never, I mean, they like to see us crying all the time, but when we're laughter and having joy, they're not with us, but we can't just say that all that way because we've all had good people of all races to stand up, and that's just the truth. We all got stories of people who don't look like us but actually came to work with us and to be with us, So yeah, and we know that the Underground Railroad wouldn't have happened without the Quakers and the Mennonites.
Yeah.
So I always go back and say the Quakers and the Mennonites was there for us. I mean, because they wouldn't have been able to have the Underground Railroad without the fine Quakers. Not the Southern Quakers because they hold slaves, but the Northern Quakers was there for us. So, but we have a little bit more time, so we were going to talk a little bit about some of you. Who's some of your favorite? Oh yeah, but we're still organizing. We'll be at the meeting on Tuesday, so we'll be there. So who are some of your favorite women in history? I know your family. You're going to start with your mother, and that's okay. And she was a good cook too. I'm sorry I didn't get to eat in her food. So you can start with your mother.
Yeah, my mother. My mother.
What was her name?
Carmelita.
That's such a nice name, Carmelita. And most Carmelitas are beautiful. I bet your mother was beautiful. I've never met a Carmelita that was not beautiful. It's something about that.
Was gorgeous.
I bet she was. Carmelitas and Monique's are beautiful too. But Carmelita, I've never. All the Carmelitas I ever met was beautiful women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mom also worked for the school district and did her own little groups with the young African American.
Oh,
kids.
Really? So you following in your mother's footsteps? Yeah. Okay.
See, my mom took a lot of abuse.
Yeah.
And working for the school district, big time racism. My mom is one of my biggest heroes, and my aunt, who Dr. Consuelo Shaw. She was a principal at Rainier Beach.
Oh, okay.
Ballard High School. and she was assistant to the superintendent, the first Black woman to be assistant to the superintendent.
Okay.
Yep. And she fought the fight. I mean, her goal was to become a doctor, and they ran her out. She fought and fought, and they ran her out. But she did a lot of stuff for my kids, introducing them and myself to opera, ballets, stuff that they don't think we belong at. But I was thinking about this last night. I don't hear a lot of this, but this person I'm going to mention next, she wasn't a woman at the time. She was a child, and that's Ruby Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
And when I talk to our recruits, I tell them about that famous picture of her with the U.S. Marshals walking to school. And you have to be brave to do that. Even if you have those U.S. Marshals, you're still a target. And for her to be brave enough at that age to walk through the mob of white people yelling at her.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have had my child to do that, but you're right. She was brave, and her family was brave to stand up to a system of unrighteousness. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm mainly talking about her bravery.
Oh yeah, walking through that. Yeah, and the people were so angry.
Yes,
they were so angry. And if it had not been for the soldiers, the National Guards who was guarding her, she might not have made it back out. See,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go into it. But my daughter, when she was 5, she had an incident happen to her, and when the attorneys asked her, "Why didn't you cry at the time?" she goes, "Because I wanted to be like Ruby Bridges." A 5-year-old saying that. Yes, they had just heard the story that week in school.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing? It made such an impact on her at 5 years old. Yeah, wow. And
I'm not saying that yes, I am saying it. You and I the other night standing only with that crazy mob that clearly didn't like us. I think some people would have folded under that. But didn't care. And
then we had a young lady who came up to us that didn't have, might not have had an opportunity to speak, but appeared to maybe not have the courage to speak, but she came to talk to us because she wanted to reach out to us, and we gave her our number. She came from Indiana. That's the home of the Klan. So, it's a lot of repression in a lot of places. It's a repression here too, but it's really a lot different kind of repression in some of these other places against people. But you're right, it was angry,
Yeah. So, a lot of people, even I have an older sister that passed away when I was 15. She did stuff before her time. She took a lot. There were jobs she didn't get because of her race, but I've always admired her. I mean, she was like my second mother, and she just fought to continue on, to go job after job, and nothing stopped her,
Right.
And another woman is you. I admire you. You've been doing this work a long time, and you haven't backed down. And they've come after you before.
Oh yeah, I lost a business in the meantime. I lost a business. I lost my income.
And you're still standing, and you're stronger than you are. They're not.
Oh, and some more people look like I think they're coming again.
Yeah, let them come. Let them come. And I admire you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm just doing what I was raised to be a credit to my race.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring no shame on my family, and that kind of stuff. And so and I was raised to I love Black people. I'm not an integrationist. I just live in an integrated world. I don't think my kids going to school or sitting by a white child is going to make my kids smart. What's going to make my kids smart is that what I'm going to teach them at home. So when they go to school, they'll already be smart. And so I came from an old tradition of really making make sure your children if they don't have no homework, make sure you give them some. And we had a slogan that excellence is expected here. And
Mhm.
why not? I mean, we don't have we have the capacity to be excellent. I mean, and you've seen some of those articles where homeless black kids were homeless and wrote and still got into college because they caught 2 or 3 buses to go to school every day. The tenacity to do that, and some of them wrote essays and got into Harvard. I mean, they got a free education, but they were determined.
Yes.
They were determined, and that's what I believe. I mean, we've had to be determined to get where we are, and we're going to have a celebration on March 23rd at Garfield Community Center from 11 to 1. It's called the Better Day Celebration, and we're going to celebrate our ancestors and their greatness and who we are, because it is that we stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us, and for so long we were not in touch with them, but now people are beginning to understand that it was that lineage that made them strong, that came out, and that they never quit. And some of those people, they had to leave the South because they just had that great migration someplace else. But it's like when you really just authentically love people, then love is all, because all the whole world needs love. Gaza needs love. Israel needs love. The Congo needs love. It is something about what's missing. The Europeans brought the Bible, but they didn't bring love.
No.
They did not, because the life of other people did not get any better, even when they became a Christian. But what will move the world is love. And people are just, I mean, look at the people who are committing suicide. We talked about that. I mean, love is missing.
Yes.
And when you can lead with love, I mean, it is the only thing that's going to transform the world. But you have to love yourself and your people first before you can love other people. And we've been denied that. We've been denied to love ourselves and also our own people. And then you can go out and be of service into the world. And you're being a great service in the world right now. And one thing that they say in the Catholic Church, I'm not Catholic anymore. I mean, I was there for a short time, a hot minute. But what it says, from east to west and from age to age, God calls up his people. And we're the people that God has called.
Yes.
Because see, we're not doing the work for ourselves. I mean, I'm on the last mile of the way home. I mean, I'm walking home. I mean, to that other place, So it's not that we're doing the work for ourselves.
Right.
We're doing the work for those who are going to come behind us.
Yeah.
And those that we can grab their hand and say, come on, there's a better life. You don't have to be this way. You don't have to put up with this abuse. I mean, you don't have to put up with that. There's another way for you, sister. Come on, we've made it through. And we're going to have this thing out soon that says tomorrow always comes.
Right.
We've been talking about that, and I secured that today. Tomorrow always comes. And this is what we're going to empower people with. Hold on right now. Tomorrow always comes, because look at us. We made it through all those places where we didn't think we could make it.
Right.
We're here because tomorrow always comes. And so, yeah, man, this is so great. We're kicking off Women's Month here with you. And I really appreciate you coming on. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, right. So, hey, we're going to rock. And also, you can, for my listeners, you can actually listen to this again on a podcast here shortly after the show. But you've been listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on there. And women, stand up. Don't ever go back.
Right.
Thank you so much.